Hi, I'm Tony Williams, and this is Brooklyn Savvy. Today's episode is a departure from our usual Brooklyn Savvy panel. Join us as we focus on the Brooklyn chapter of Lynx and their 10th annual Women of African Descent Film Festival. Our discussion will feature Lisa Cortes. Now, Lisa, you're the executive producer, Oscar-winning executive producer of Precious. So we are so happy to have you here with us today. We also have Olu Gittins. Now, you're a filmmaker as well, and you're one of the Lynx special filmmakers.
That's right.
So it's so great to have you on. And why don't I introduce the Savvy panel? We have Sharon Simmons. Now, Sharon, you are the chair of the Women of African Descent Film Festival for the Lynx. We have Donna Walker-Kuhn. Now, Donna, you are a marketing expert, so you'll help us get our work out there. Yes. And then we have DePelsha Magruder. You work for Centric. And what do you do there, DePelsha?
I'm the head of business operations, which means I help run the network day to day.
There you go. So we have all the mind power that we need here today. So anyway, Lisa, if you could just kick this off, talk to us about your journey with Precious.
Well, yeah, I think the journey with Precious is a Brooklyn journey.
Ooh, Brooklyn.
Because in Brooklyn, you know, we have flavor.
That's it.
We have depth.
There you go.
And at the same time, you know, we take care of business.
Yes.
And I think, you know,
that's the Brooklyn attitude. Ooh, I like those sound
and I didn't get it from Marty Markowitz. but on a serious note, you know, I mean, Brooklyn is such a cultural hotbed. And I think what we saw in the process of putting together the film of Precious, it encompasses flavor and story and passion, but also the business of finding the right talent in front and behind the camera and putting together a team to help realize it over the course of 5 years that it took to make the project.
Now, you know, when I think of an executive producer, the word astronaut, executive producer come to mind. Meaning it seems like it's something that is very difficult because you're cobbling together a lot of resources. Could you comment on how, you know, difficult this journey was for you or what?
Well, you know, someone once told me that my name means peaceful diplomat.
The Lisa or the Cortez?
The Lisa and then the Cortez. If you look at the roots of both of those words. So I am the peaceful diplomat. And what I enjoy about being an executive producer and producer, you know, because titles are interchangeable and there's all sorts of reasons why. But at the end of the day is my role in guiding a project from conception to christening. Multitasking. If we look at the credits on the film, I can tell you what every single person did.
Wow.
And what their attitude was. And if I will work with them again, because I really have an intimate working knowledge of each part of the puzzle, because ultimately it is about the collaborative effort.
So it's all partnership and working together.
Yes, and my role is bringing out the best in people in a timely fashion so we can make our day and go home.
So what came first? Did the script come first, or did it come to you, or did you find it? How did you?
Well, what came first was the book, which is the novel Push, that was written by Sapphire.
Right.
And after she saw a film called Shadowboxer that I produced and Lee Daniels directed with Helen Mirren and Cuba Gooding, she said, you know what, I'm going to give you guys this option because you make beautiful films that are uncompromising in their vision. You are sensitive to distinctive cultures and voices. And so that's what's began that process. But I was actually haunted for a long...
I love the cultures and voices, right?
Oh, because that's what Brooklyn is.
Yeah, I like that. Another soundbite.
But you know, when I living in Brooklyn and taking the A train home, you know, when the book came out in '96, I would be on the train and I'd look up and it would seem like there would be a whole car full of sisters reading this red book with black letters, right? Remember, you know, you're like, what are you reading? What are you reading? You know, it was before the days of people reading Zane on the subway.
There you go. Right.
So, you know, that was, many years before actually making the film, I was haunted by this book, the story, and its effect on many different kinds of not only African American women, but just humanity in general.
Absolutely. Now, Olu, you're also a filmmaker.
Yes.
Now, you've done 2 films that I'm aware of. One is Lucky, and one is Baby in the Family.
Right.
Talk to us about Lucky and the your challenges in terms of getting your work out there.
Sure. And it's great being on the panel with all these accomplished people. And the type of filmmaker that I am is a writer, director, producer.
Wow. So,
So-
you're the host. Yeah, there
Yes,
you go.
I write my own scripts, and I also direct. And I love working with actors. It's one of my favorite things to do. And so basically, I come up with the idea, and I do the screenplay myself. And that's a tough process because unlike writing a book, when a book is finished, you're done. But all the work you put into a screenplay, you're just doing a blueprint for something else that has to be done. So it's challenging, but it's a lot of fun because the characters wind up being, when you're working for long hours, writing for long hours, the characters wind up being the people that you're
working with, that you live with, that you're in a relationship with. Right?
Yeah.
Right.
And I've always loved storytelling. When I was a little kid, before I knew how to write, I would tell stories to my mother, and she would write them out for me and then bind them.
Oh, wow.
So
Wow. Right.
it was always that storytelling process that was valued in the family. So this is just an extension of that.
Now, Sharon, let's talk about the Women of African Descent Film Festival. How did that come to be?
Well,
And I got to tell people I was involved too, so we can
Yes.
cheat. We can cheat. Okay.
And you were involved much longer than I was, so you can add on.
Right,
But,
there you go. Right.
Initially, it was done to celebrate our 50th anniversary of the links, and it was so well received that we decided to continue to do it. It's a lot involved. It's important for us to get our story out.
When you say our story, what do you mean?
I mean the story of people of African descent. We are bombarded with negative images in the press all the time, and if
It feels like we're under assault when we talk about the
always,
media.
and it
Yeah,
doesn't
under
get
assault.
any better. It seems to get worse, and we believe it's up to us to be the gatekeepers of our legacy. We need to preserve what we've done. We need to nurture what we've done. We need to help women of African descent show their work. And we also have a youth program so that young filmmakers can also be involved.